Okay, are we going live? Got something loading over here. Hey, how's it going, guys? Thought I'd start another live stream today, or really my first live stream since the last one didn't live stream. But today I have my Grace Cathedral model here, and I'm gonna start lighting it. I thought some of you guys might get a kick out of this. Let me show you kind of in real life. Grace Cathedral is known for the way it's lit. Let me pull up some of this. Isn't that just incredible? Even how the stained glass window in front casts light down onto the steps, that is breathtaking. Look at some of these other scenes. Wow. So last week we put the foliage in. This week I want to start on the lighting. I have no illusions about this. I'm probably not going to be able to do this in a day. But I want to get inspired to start doing this. I don't know how well behaved my 3D file is going to be. It's starting to get pretty complex. Here's kind of where I am with the lighting so far. Check this out. Not very much, right? We're just now seeing kind of the front here and some of the steps lit and some of the street level stuff. But we're going to work on that today, and we're going to see if we can't start making the lighting pop. So once again, I use 3D Studio Max. I've been a 3D Studio Max modeler. I don't know if I consider myself an animator. I can do animation, some basic stuff, but I don't do character animations all that well. I use other applications for that. But as far as modeling goes, I've been a 3D Studio Max modeler for 20 years now. This is the 20th year. Which is weird to say because I'm only 35. So being able to say that I've done anything for 20 years, it's weird. So yeah. So let's take a look at this. I mean, this is pretty basic. These are the light models that I've created. I've kind of made them kind of long, and if we look here, we see that the outer part is kind of a dark gray, and the inner part is a light gray. That light gray is actually an emissive surface. Octane, the renderer that I'm using for 3D Studio Max, it's called Octane, and one of the things it does really well is realistic lighting. And you can create a surface that emits light, kind of like in real life, and you can light your model that way. And so this is a little 3D model I made of maybe a track light or something. I'm going to start experimenting with these because in my mind right now I can create a light source that we only see like the light falling on the surface. We don't actually see the light. It's not a physical model. I can do that, but I don't think that would sell the realism of the model. Like I actually want to see the light, the physical lights themselves. Let's render this real quick. And let's see how this looks. So right now it's doing a scene evaluation. It does this every time I bring up the Octane real-time viewport render. And so far so good. Okay, we can start seeing... I'm not even sure what these things are called, these doorways. They're not flying buttresses, but something like that. Okay. We can start seeing that. I really like that. So let's just continue with that. And let me check one thing out. You know, I realize that I'm broadcasting this video in 1080p. And I think my video... Okay, it is in 1080p. My preview window. When I sit here at home, I have two 4K monitors. And I usually render it in 4K. And I'm just wondering if it would perform better if I did like a lower resolution render. So, some of you will not find this video very enthralling. Some of you will. I have a lot of friends that are 3D artists that this is probably fairly run-of-the-mill for them. And they probably even have better techniques for lighting their model. But I hope those of you not as familiar with 3D modeling can find some fun in this. So it looks like... It's almost like there's spotlights on the ground that are shining upward. Maybe we should put in some of those next. Yeah, and what you guys are listening to right now, the soundtrack, I found some royalty-free retro music on YouTube. I love retro synth. I'm really into it right now. It's kind of, you know, like the Stranger Things vibe, like the intro music. Like 80s synth is making a comeback, and I couldn't be happier. And let's see if any of you have joined chat. Oh, it looks like 2 people are viewing. I don't know how to bring up the chat window. Like if you guys are sitting here chatting into the window. Oh, maybe I see it over here on the left. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I've got 2 monitors here, so I'm jumping back and forth. Cool. I've actually turned off the foliage right now in this model. I felt like it would complicate things, and it might actually even cause the real-time render to take longer to evaluate the scene. When I bring up the window, like I'm about to do. Okay, let's take a quick look at this. Let's see what this looks like. So I right-click and I bring up the Open Octane viewport, and it performs a scene evaluation. I've hit all the trees because I don't know for sure, but I think it actually bloats this part, like it makes this screen take longer. And, okay, that's interesting. Did I not copy one over? Huh. That's interesting. It looks pretty good, though. Okay, let's keep going with that. I guess I didn't copy one over. I didn't notice that. And it almost looks like... Here, let me bring up Grace Cathedral again. Like, I'm gonna try to shoot for something like this, but even that's pretty... Like, that's probably more realistic. A lot of amber glows, a lot of street lamp light. That's probably gonna be more realistic to how this is gonna look. And we can start doing some of that now. In fact, that might be more realistic for how this is going to look in the end. Let me... See, I would be happy if I could get this effect. It's not as grand as the others, but, I mean, in post I can alter it in After Effects if I do a render, like a pre-calculated render of it. Even this here, I'd be very happy with an effect like that. So, why don't we do this? Let's try to get that amber light on point. So let's bring up the viewport. Let's do the scene evaluation. I feel like I need the Jeopardy theme song. Okay. So let's also bring up the material window. The material window, you guys should see how... Check this out. Look at these materials. I've been using 3D Studio Max longer than they've had LERPs, and I've got some pretty complicated textures here. The master, all of the grounds of Grace Cathedral, I have this one 22 material deep material sub-object that maps to everything. So all the concrete, all the windows, all the lights, even the foliage, all use this master material here. And these other floating materials are like little experiments I was doing to try to see if I could get an effect. Or it was one of the accent, like the props have their own. And it's pretty complicated. But I did do... So I have 2 separate lighting materials here. Let's go really orange with one of them and see how this affects things. And if you guys can be patient here, let me zoom out and let me bring back up that nice render window. Where'd it go? Okay. Okay, so now that we see the render window, we can see here that these amber lights are a lot more orange now. That's probably too orange. So what if we scaled it back a little bit? Something a little more like that. And then the lights up top on the actual cathedral part. Let's do something crazy just to see the difference. Let's go like cyberpunk pink. And once again, I'm partially colorblind, so I'm really winging this. Okay, so now we can see how these lights, how, you know, this affects the lights. We got the cyberpunk pink up here, cyber pink up here, and we have like the amber down here, and we have the neon blue down here. I'm not going to keep it that way. I think just a regular yellow light up top. Make it look kind of warm. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, cool. So if we look back at the Grace Cathedral model, it's pretty orange. There's amber lights everywhere. So let's go crazy with the amber lights. I can't actually hear the soundtrack I'm playing for you guys. I had to turn my speakers down, otherwise you would hear like an echo. So I hope it's entertaining. I hope you're not getting too many ads. And we can put some sort of lighting source right here in the towers. I seem to remember standing underneath this, underneath the cathedral one time when I went to Oso Steakhouse on my birthday, and I seem to remember there being purple or cyberpunk pink lights up in the top, and I thought that's super weird but super cool. Here, let's copy both of these over. Some of you 3D artists, I don't know if you guys properly name every object in your scene, which is probably part of best practices, but unfortunately I don't do that. So you're going to see the same object, like look at this, trim, light, wide angle, 14, 15, 16, 17. You're going to see that pop up a lot. And you know what? I'm not even sorry. I hope you guys, I hope I sound different today too. My two monitors here, I'm actually in the corner of a room, and so I have like walls here, and I covered them in pillows today just to see if the reverb wouldn't be so bad. This is floating out there. Okay, let's zoom out. Let's scene evaluate. Let's also save. And let's see how this looks. This file takes a long time to save just because of how complex it is. Okay, let's perform a scene evaluation and take a look. It's certainly getting there, isn't it? Maybe in the A-frame roof here, we put a couple more lights, maybe 2 or 3. And I've seen versions of the lighting there where they have the gay pride colors in here, the rainbow colors. I like that idea. Although, you know, that being said, we would hope that in the time that the Amaranth Chronicles takes place in the future, that we have a completely different set of social issues, and those colors might not mean the same thing that they mean now. But maybe cyber pink in here would look really cool. Cool. And I do have some lights, some static lights down at the bottom of the cathedral. Like regular, what do you call them? You know, like regular lampposts. And I'm having trouble nailing those. Okay, these aren't exactly centered. Cool. Like these lamps here. They're really kind of dark. Let me bring up my material browser and let's take a look at these, because I think this is part of it. So what if we went like 75? It's at the power of 35, some arbitrary amount of light. Let's set it to 75, and let's do a quick scene evaluation of just down here. Well, it's definitely lit up. Might have to come back to that. It's not really lighting up anything but the lamp itself. Why is that? Let's take a look at it again. Let me bring up its lighting settings. We're going to scene evaluate, and we're going to change the light in real time. I'm going to give it some crazy, crazy settings. Okay, so it's at 75%. I don't know if it's percent. It's at the value of 75. Let's go 200 and see how that changes things. And it doesn't change things a whole lot. I wonder if this is one of those that doesn't update in real time. Let me scene evaluate again. Octane viewport is still active. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's weird. What if we turned off this surface brightness? What if we turned it off? It's not updating real time. I'm going to have to take a look at that and figure out why that is. Because the other lights do update in real time. Cool. So we have some of these lit. And what if we put a cyber pink light in here? Let's look at our octane lights. You guys are seeing how the secret sauce is made. There's no interior to Grace Cathedral at the moment. I'm not going to model one in this scene. I figure any art I do that takes place inside or outside, even if I animate it, you know, we can cover it with a scene transition. Okay, let's go in here. And right now, it's a plane. Let's see about changing it to a sphere. And let's decrease its size. And let's do like a cyber pink. cool. So let's get this in view. And let's bring up the scene evaluator. And why don't we see anything? We don't see the cyberpink light. Oh my god, I'm getting text messages from people watching the stream. It looks like an outdoor heater. You're right, Cecilia. It does look like an outdoor heater. I gotta change it. I gotta change all these things. Let's go really pink. Let's go like crazy pink and see if that's any better. And maybe I should even... I guess I can drag the window around. See if this actually pops up. Well, we can see the lighting source now. That's what that sphere is. So we're getting there. Let's pull this over. Samples 1, light pass ID, cast shadows. Everything's on. Keep instance power. Let's do this. Let's go 35. See if that changes anything. We're getting there. We're seeing some light. Let's go 65. Let's change the temperature back to 6500. Color type? No, we're going to go straight color. There we go. Now we're getting there. And we can even turn it on and off. Now it's off. Now it's on. Samples 1, that makes sense. Can we not show the actual light? Can we turn that off? I'll look into that later. But that's starting to look pretty good. So if we zoom out... Okay. Now we've got lit towers. So maybe if we have the lit towers, remember that I stuck a couple lights right in here, right in the front. Maybe we can take those out and just have like a spotlight shine up at it just to catch the edges. Cool. Now, if we zoom back in, let's take a look at the size of the lighting source. Like, we can see it, right? We don't want to see it, because in real life, there isn't a glowing orb there. What if we change the size here? Okay, that doesn't change it there. But we could probably change it here. Yeah, the purple light does look good. I like that. You're right, Cecilia. If we make it really, really small. And then, okay, which one of these? There we go. So I guess the scene evaluator doesn't actually show the changes in size of the light. I like the purple. Let's do this. Let's close the evaluator. And I'm going to drag this light down so it kind of illuminates upward. And we're going to copy it, and we're going to stick it over here, and we're going to do an instance so that if whatever changes we make to one, it'll make those changes to the other. And let's make sure it's centered, or at least somewhat centered. I'm just eyeballing it here. You know, we can fix it later. And I wanted to remove these, or maybe move these. I'll come back to that. Okay, so let's look at after it's done saving. Let's zoom out and kind of take a look at it now in the scene evaluator. Oh, the flickering. Oh, the waiting with anticipation. Okay, okay. We're starting to see some of the purple light, or the pink light, up top. I do need to raise the lights. That's what I think the issue is. So let's close that down. So maybe it worked better when these were bigger. Yeah, that's what I think. I think that's what's up. It worked better when these were bigger. I gotta find a way not to render the actual light source so we don't have a glowing orb floating in there. Let's raise these up. Okay. Let's also stick some of these lights we have here. Just because the scene evaluator takes so long to load up, let's really make it worth it and stick some of these bright amber lights in other places. Let's do something like this. We'll stick one there. Let's bring it out a little bit just so it catches more of the surface area. And what if we stuck one inside the entryway here? Like I've said on my last video, I've taken some creative liberties with this model of what I've modeled and what I've chosen not to. You know, we could just stick an orange light in here, just another floating light. That's what I might do. Okay, let's pull up that scene evaluator again. And let's angle the... Okay, let's pull this up again. Oh, I hope you guys aren't too bored. This can be kind of boring sometimes, waiting for the evaluator to pop up. And what happened? Okay, let me pull it up again. It's weird seeing my stream in the lower left-hand corner of my other monitor down here, because there's a delay in it. Well, we're getting there, right? Pink light, it's casting light out of the towers and onto the roof of the building. I really like that. And it's even, you know, the light in this room is so bright, but if you notice, it's even casting some of that pink light back here. That's really cool. So really, it's a matter of lowering the size of these lights. Let's see if I can select the lights. These lights are instances of each other. So if I went, let's see if they update in real time. What if I went 1 again? No. Bring it down to 10. Like I said, I'm still learning Octane Render. I love this renderer. Believe it or not, this is fast. And it's just crazy all the things it can do. Okay, for now, I feel like that works for now. Yeah, we can see the light sources hovering in the tower. We can always come back to that, but that amount of light feels legit. I like that. So we're going to keep that. We're just going to keep that as it is. Okay, let's bring those down a little bit, though. Cool. And then if we go back and we pull up Grace Cathedral, from the web, it's interesting. The pictures, it's not really all that lit on the sides, right? It's lit up bright in the front, but the sides here really aren't part of it. Not part of the lighting, like they're not really illuminated. Let me find other pictures. Even here, like the sides aren't, but the courtyard is. Ooh, and look at the lamps it has in front. They're more, you know, they're more rounded. I might change those later. Okay. That's good to know. So I'm not going to worry too much about the lights here. I might put some of these down in the box down here. In real life, there is a walkway, windows, and even a door down here in this box. But I haven't modeled it. I don't know if I am. Just because... What's the point if we're never going to see it? Because there's going to be a lot of... there's going to be a lot of trees in the way. Let's just do something like that. Let's even... Yeah, because the surface is curved. We'll just do something like that. Well, what if we... And then did it again. So now we have 3. We'll leave those there. Not really exciting today, huh, guys? It's not so showy so fast. Yeah, I think... Well, I don't need to instance those. I can copy those because they share a master material. We'll put some lighting down here. How long has this stream been going? I've been doing this for 31 minutes. That's incredible! My first live stream. 31 minutes. Let's go ahead and put it here, right on the edge. Let's see how much light that is. If we pull up the scene evaluator again, the Octane viewport window. These lights are controlled a little bit differently. I have to actually go into my material and alter it there. But that's because I want the light source to actually be seen and it to look fairly realistic. Okay. So, we see that it's at least illuminating the steps here. I guess I could put one on both sides, right, and have it really bright. Yeah, that works. I mean, so if we just flipped it... I hope I set OBS up right to record my live streams also to my hard drive. We got some overlap here in these vertices. Interesting. Here, let's just... No, let's... Oh, it's so ugly. You guys are seeing how the sausage is made, and it's not pretty. So let's drag these back. But like I was saying, the other day I recorded straight to my hard drive, right? So, because I couldn't get the live stream working, so I was able to upload it to YouTube. I'd like to start doing that. I need to start socializing all this art I'm doing for the Amaranth Chronicles. The website's great. We have a little following on Instagram, but I need to start showcasing this art in a different way if I'm going to make this series worth the blood, sweat, and tears Chris and I have already put into it. Need to grow the audience, need to grow it bigger. And I figured actually doing live streams and stuff on YouTube might actually help. Because there's a lot of people out there that haven't been 3D modeling for 20 years. Or there are people that have and want to share ideas and want to get into new series and stuff like that. Or at least that's what I'm hoping, right? So, if we bring these up. Okay, let's see how this looks. Let's zoom out. Let's pick a good angle. Let's bring up the Octane viewport window again. Yeah, right, Cecilia? Yeah, it probably will reach more people. I guess it's like, what do I show, though? Do I show me just working on the art? Some people will find that interesting. But I feel like those people already are artists that are already doing their own things. I don't know how to get the mass appeal. How do you turn all of your complex art into something people want to watch you make and actually get them to want to read the book and actually want the comic books we're working on and actually want the animated series? I mean, it's all very complex. But coming back to the lighting, I'm okay with this. For now, I'm okay with this. I might raise some of these lights up physically, like raise them higher. Like these could come up. And even these might come up a little bit. Actually, they could all come up just a tad. I might actually next time put my headphones on so that I can actually hear the music. And then you guys would see me wearing my... I don't know where they are, but I've got some pretty serious headphones. And let's go ahead and copy this light over a couple of times. Maybe in the kind of sort of in the center mass of that wall, and then maybe sort of kind of center mass of this wall. Now, one thing I was debating on is, so these windows, I mean, it's a texture, right? There's nothing inside these windows, and I thought that might actually become a problem with some night renders, because in real life, you'd be able to see into the window a little bit with the light coming out of it. So that might be something I have to evaluate later, and that's something really complex and would take a long time to set up. And I'm not going to put you guys through that. I'm going to just do a video. If I end up going in that direction, I'm going to just do a video of me kind of showcasing it. Yeah, it's interesting. When I first started learning 3D Studio Max back in high school, there was no YouTube, and there were very few resources online where you could go. 3D Studio Max comes with certain tutorials that show you this is how you do this thing and this is how you do that thing. But we didn't have all that. We didn't have YouTube or stuff like that. Like, I really started to learn how to use this after I took a summer course over at Ohlone College in Fremont. And back then we had a teacher named Pilar Lewis who she had a big background in Softimage and kind of translated those skills to 3D Studio Max. And once I took one of her classes is really when I started to feel like, oh, okay, I know what I'm doing. But I'm sure other... You like the background music I'm playing? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Cecilia. I know, like, there's actually a delay between when you see this and when I can respond to you. There are people who watch others drawing or cooking. I think this is one form of performing your skills to a certain degree, right? To a certain degree. Yeah, it's weird what people will watch on YouTube. I don't tend to watch a whole lot of this type of stuff. I do watch tutorial videos like how to make glass and how to make all sorts of little things. Let's see if this looks balanced. Kind of, sort of, not really. Okay, we'll bring these in a little bit more. But yeah, I've been using 3D Studio Max for 20 years, and when I started, I'm sure I have all sorts of bad habits that people are going to notice. Other more seasoned 3D Studio Max users will eventually notice in my scenes. For instance, I don't use as many hotkeys as I probably should. Like, I go up here and I click, oh, let's click the rotate tool and the move tool. And if you want to be fast in applications like this, you have to know your hotkeys. And I know all my hotkeys in Photoshop and other 3D programs, but it's kind of like the developmental age I started using 3D Studio Max, and because it was really touch and go, some of that just became part of the bad habits, unfortunately. That's interesting. Why is that overlapping? That would lead me to believe that this surface is not straight. I don't think the surface is straight. Okay, that's weird. Let's go into an orthographic perspective. It is totally not straight. How the hell did that happen? Is there even a point in straightening it now? Let's turn off ignore back facing and select this. I'm glad you like the music in the background. It kind of fits in my head. Uh-oh, am I still live streaming? It just said we're having trouble playing this video down in the lower right. Uh-oh, are we having a crash? Bear with me, guys. We might be having a crash. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I can't see the preview window anymore. Let's see. Mark sends me a text. We get to see how Alex's sausage is made. Yeah, you get to see how it's made. Can you guys still see the stream, or have you guys been kicked out? Here, I'm going to actually... Hang on. Oh, it's still on? Okay. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why I can't see the stream in my little window anymore. I hope you guys can still hear the music and see everything. Maybe I've hit the limit on the live stream length of a video. I don't know. Maybe I'm not using live streaming correctly. Okay, let's go back to perspective. Ah! Okay, let's go back to the light source. Okay. See, this is where the cherry blossoms were in the last video, but I've taken them out temporarily. Things look normal for us still. Okay, cool. Are you guys, Cecilia and Mark, are you guys watching it on your big screen in the living room? On your projector? My watch is telling me it's time to stand. I don't want to stand. I want to do this all day. I'm sure most like artists, especially CG artists, know what that feels like, where you're just like, I don't want to go outside. I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to build the thing, and I want to build the thing all day. I want to spend all day building the thing. I know a lot of really talented CG artists, and a lot of them actually have remarked that this shelter-in-place has been great for their art because they're not expected to socialize. So that's the silver lining, right? You're watching this on your new TV? Is it in the living room? Do you guys still have the projector in the living room? Is that a 45-degree angle? It's a 40-degree angle. No, it is a 45. Okay, I'm gonna really wing this. Oh, you guys replaced the projector with an OLED. Okay, how big? How big of a TV are we talking here? I might not need this one here. I'm gonna take that one out. Yeah, the TV's better during the day. Yeah. Now that we're all spending so much time indoors. Like, my living room TV, unfortunately, is right across from a window. It's one of the only ways I could do my living room. Wow, a 55-inch OLED? Well, you guys have the space for it. If I stuck a 55-inch in my living room, not only would it be bloomed out by the window behind it, but it would totally overpower the room. I don't even know if I have 55 inches in the space that I put my TV in. I don't watch a whole lot of TV. Like, I watch movies at night and stuff like that, but in general, well, I watch a lot of TV like in bed, like when I'm going to sleep, or on the weekends when I wake up, when I'm binging my whatever Netflix show, which typically is old stuff. I'm not into a whole... I want to start The Witcher. I really liked the game series. I hear the author's kind of a weirdo, A lot of people don't like them, but I really like the video game series. I want to get into that. But I watch a lot of old stuff. Like, I'm constantly watching. You just got a 55-inch on Thursday. So, since the last time we all, like, FaceTime together, you've gotten it since then. That's cool. But like I was saying, like, I watch old stuff. Like, I'm rewatching Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and Jesus Christ was that show ahead of its time. You couldn't binge watch it back then, but it told a contiguous story like any good Netflix watchable binge show does now. And it's really cool. It's really good. But that shouldn't surprise anyone that I'm always in a state of watching one of the Star Trek series. And yes, I've watched Discovery, and no, I don't like it. And I'm proud to say that I'm not a Discovery fan. Picard was okay. Star Trek Picard, you know, it got the job done. It felt like they relied a little too much on nostalgia, and all the new elements that they added were kind of like, I'm on the fence about them. But it's good seeing old characters come back, and I thought they did a really awesome job with 7 of 9, and seeing her struggle and how it's changed her, and really giving a voice. Star Trek has always been about giving people a voice, giving the human condition a voice, and I really like that they gave the concept of trauma survivors a voice, because that's a group that hasn't really been heard in Star Trek. Okay, let's just kind of drag this. Let's copy this a few times. See, that's what we don't want. We don't want one hovering under the... Well, let's see. What if we zoomed in on this and we brought up the scene evaluator and see if we can see the light source through, like, the lines of the bench. God, it's 2 p.m. in the afternoon and I'm still drinking my coffee. It smells good still, too. Okay, so it does look like we can see the light source through the rungs, but I don't know if that's any better. Mark, that's what she said. I don't know what you're saying that to because there's such a delay, but I'll take your word for it. That is what she said. So, what if we did this? Let's move this aside, and let's zoom out and kind of start looking at... Okay, let's let it rasterize here. No, you know what? Let's pick a good angle, and then I'll bring it back up. Let's do this. Just so we can see some of the ground lighting I've put in the last few minutes. Let's save this scene, too. Because that's all we need right now, right? Is a crash. You know, without the little preview video in the lower left-hand, right-hand corner here, I don't even know how many people are watching the live stream anymore. Let me bring that up. But I've been doing it for almost an hour, so plenty of people have had an opportunity. Oop, I don't mean to render that. I was bringing up the traditional renderer. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay. Okay, we're starting to see the light and the effect of the light on the environment. I like it. Some of the walkways look really illuminated now. Let's, hang on, I'm going to move this over here so we don't have to wait for it to render again. And let's just kind of zoom in maybe on this. Maybe this. No. Maybe more of this so we can see those lights we did up the walkway. Okay. Let's bring this back. Let's let it rasterize. Sorry for the graininess. That's how this renderer works. You know, it does kind of the big computation initially, and then it gets more granularized. Okay. I mean, it's working. We're getting there. What is this dark part here? Oh, it's the chair. Huh. Okay. That's something... Like, do we put lights? Do we, quote-unquote, waste lights underneath the chairs? I don't know. And this isn't straight either, son of a bitch. No. No, it isn't. Huh, I must have not had snap angle or snap grid on when I was modeling this. Wow, that's not embarrassing. Not at all. I was kind of having to eyeball it. A model this complicated. Let's go to orthographic again. And let's select this. Let's go to wireframe. It looks... No, I was going to say it looks straight, but it's totally not. Which side do I sacrifice the straightening on? And the edge is chamfered, so I don't want to just go... Well, what if I did that? Select that. Go over here. Oh my god. Select those. We'll select those. We'll select this one, and we'll just planarize them. And why? Yeah. Okay. That's the cheap fix. Okay. Cheap fixed it. Once again, you guys are seeing how the sausage is made. I just hope it's somewhat entertaining. I know that with enough of these live streams, I'm going to get a real... Somebody who's been using 3D Studio Max for 30 years... making all sorts of wisecracks. Oh yeah, this guy's 20 years and doesn't even know how to model on the grid. Okay. That's interesting. It works. Oops, I didn't mean to copy all of them. See, on a day this beautiful, I could be outside enjoying it. I went for a run earlier, but I could be outside enjoying it, like going kayaking. My kayaking place opened back up, which I guess what risk are you at being out on the water on a kayak, right? But it opened up. I could be out there doing that, but instead I'm in here showing you guys how I do all this stuff. And I like that. Hang on. Would leaving things not straight be more realistic? You know, I don't know. Obviously, in real life, this concrete wall has imperfections in it. And also, if you look at Grace Cathedral, where it's built, it's not, obviously, it doesn't align to a grid, right? I mean, it aligns to the streets, but that's it. I don't know if that kind of misalignment would be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if it would be more... I don't know. And the reason I don't know is because I don't know if it would show up in a render. It looks sloppy to other 3D artists. It looks sloppy if you're not using the grid. And I was just kind of winging it when I first started modeling. I didn't know how far I was going to take it. This kind of started as a project as a, can I do this? You know, I need to do this. Actually, no, this project started during a long, cold winter when I was unemployed and had gone through a really painful breakup. So I wasn't really focused on the accuracy. I needed some sort of project just to put my heart and soul into. You know, like sometimes that's always how I've gotten over like trauma or like hard times in my life, has always been to devote it to my art. And when I started doing that, that's kind of the reason why things look and kind of behave the way they do in this file. Now I'm going to put more lamps in here eventually, but right now I'm just kind of doing this lighting. It's weird doing this, knowing people are watching me. It's almost like cleaning your house with all the windows and doors open and having like strangers come by and remark, like, see, like things like this. I didn't have these pylons come all the way to the ground, and I didn't realize that. What if we... Preserve details. Let's definitely do that now. Because in real life, there is a stage here, and I was going to put that stage in. That's one of the reasons I didn't carry it all the way down. But I don't know if I'm going to put that in now. And I probably should put a lighting source back here. Let's see. It's weird. I know you guys are hearing the music, but I can't hear it. Like, it is dead silent. I have all the windows and doors closed in the house right now. Me and my neighbor, we put a lot of effort into our front yards here recently, and he just put in a outdoor shower because his whole family are surfers. I mean, go figure, right? Here in San Francisco, along the beach, and they're all surfers. And so I closed up the house because it was like they were all getting home from surfing and we're all using the outdoor shower. So I closed everything up. So this house is dead silent right now. Okay. Let's bring up the scene evaluator, and just out of curiosity, let's see how lit this is. Did the background music stop? Yeah. Okay, let's start it over. Maybe next time you can do drunk modeling again. Like with a thing of wine and just start modeling, and as I'm modeling, just getting more and more drunk and telling more weird stories about my life. Yeah, sure. Why not, right? I can do that. I could be the drunk 3D modeler on YouTube or on Facebook. Okay, I like that. We're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there. I'll probably, you gotta figure, what I'll probably end up doing is the ground lighting will be kind of amber or orange, kind of a warm color. And then as we go up in the sky, like up on the model itself, we'll change the colors until we get to that cyber pink. I don't know if that's a real color. I just coined that phrase. We'll see if it sticks. So if it sticks, you know who came up with it. And then, yeah, what do we do over here? What if we just put a light right there? Just put one right there. yeah, do a drunk modeling one, and then the next day I do like a tutorial video on how to fix the model after you've spent an evening drunk modeling on it. Sure, why not? Let's put one here too. Is that a 50-degree angle? I don't know. Let's change this to local. And this one I might raise up a little bit. No, I like it lower. Okay. So what if we zoomed out? And what if we performed a scene evaluate? First, let's save. What if we performed a scene evaluation from this height? Now that we've kind of lit some of the walkways in here and stuff. And let's try to get... Yeah, okay. Let's do it now. We're getting there, we're getting there. Some of the objects I put in here already had surfaces that had light in them. Like, I don't know what you call them, but they're like these big metal things to keep cars from driving through certain things. And I put some of those in, and I gave them a lighting source really early, because I didn't know if I was going to put in the foliage first, or the light first. And then the more I talk with people, they're like, no, put the foliage in first. Okay. So far, so good. Like down here, you see the light's pretty good. You know what would really make this pop? If I started putting in light in the corridors. in the building, this adjacent building here, that would probably really change things. And there's a lot of different ways I could do that. I'm not sure which one I want to do. Let's try a regular octane light. And, you know, let's do it kind of what we did in the towers where we just put in a lighting source. Let's turn the local off. I don't know why I had that on. And we're going to leave it out here while we play with it. 65. Let's do 45. And then let's do kind of a light amber color. Something more like that. And let's do this. Let's bring up the scene evaluator so we can see what this light source looks like just floating in space. Like, there's a lot of different ways you can put lighting in with Octane, and I don't know what is most memory efficient. I could do some research, but I don't know. Okay. The physical light ball feels too big, but yeah, and we can see some of the reflection in the marble floor. When I created that texture, we can see it reflecting. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to stick this window over here. No, you know what? What if I brought this window here? Let's see if it'll update in real time. No. Okay, good to know. I can probably turn that on in the Octane settings, but that's probably going to be crazy memory intensive. Let's go ahead and put this in the corridor. We want to put it up high in the corridor, you know, like there's lamps. I don't know if I'll ever do art where somebody's walking through this. I thought it was just important to kind of have it there. Wow. Is the roof really that tall? It is. Okay. And let's just put it right about there. And let's do the scene evaluation again. And let's just take a look to see what it looks like. I've been live streaming for an hour now. That's good. Right? So, as we can see, the walkway is kind of being illuminated now. It's starting to look a little more realistic. I'm liking the lighter color instead of that deep amber like this light down here. I like the slightly more white, almost halogen quality to it. So let's go ahead and copy that lighting source. So that's about where it is. What if we did it right about there? And let's do it like 7 times. And so the last one's over here. So if we zoom out, we just kind of focus on this area here. Let's definitely save. Pull up the scene evaluator again. God, it's already 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I was supposed to play World of Warcraft today with some friends, but I guess that can wait. Okay, there we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. Let's do this. What if we zoomed out? Let's do this. So, what if we zoomed out something kind of more like this? We're getting there, you guys. We're getting there. When I started today, none of this was here. Yeah, I kind of like the brightness of the hallway, of the corridor. That could work. that could work. I should tell them to watch the live stream instead, right? Here, let me text some of them. For all I know, they are watching it. Let me text. Oh yeah, they're all texting me right now. When are you getting on Warcraft? Watch the live stream and comment, please. Oh my god, I'm so pathetic. This is literally, like I said, this is my second video that I've ever really posted like this, but this is my first live stream. So, let's go back to these lights in the corridor. Now, I don't remember if I instanced them, because I just copied and pasted them. Let's go ahead and delete them and redo this. Oops. I meant to actually zoom extends on the light itself. And we got two of them here. Okay, let's do this. And maybe we bring down the brightness just to 40. Now let's definitely copy them again and make sure I instance them this time. If they're instance, I can actually change like one of them and they'll all respond to the change. So this time I did 8. That's better. Okay, so let's do this. Let's focus in on this area. And I have one selected. Let's bring up the evaluator and I'll offset it. And I hope we can see this in real time. Oh, I'm starting to get the coffee jitters. Wow, that is bright. Is that because we did 8 instead of 7? Okay. Let's see if this responds in real time. Let's do 35. Yeah, it's responding. What if we did like 1? Okay, that's super dark. Let me drag this over. Super dark. Let's do 10. I don't know. I don't know if I like that as much. Let's do 25. Even that feels a little too bright. Well, you gotta figure at night it's gonna be bright. You know, they gotta keep it illuminated so people don't get mugged or hurt or all sorts of things. That's a terrible thing to say. Having to illuminate a church so people don't get mugged at it. No, to my knowledge, no one's ever been mugged at Grace Cathedral. I don't know, maybe someone has, but you know, you got to keep the end crystal coffee jitters. Well, what do you call them? You get the coffee jitters all the time. That's funny. Okay, so I mean, that could work for now. We'll change this as we put in more lights. Let's go ahead and take a look here. And let's put this light in. I'm going to keep instancing these. Yeah, like I said, you guys are seeing how the sausage is made, and it's not pretty. You were never supposed to see the interior of this corridor. That's not what this model... That's not the purpose this model was supposed to serve. Okay. And then if we just... Bam. I figure eventually, if I actually start, you know, having a devoted following to this type of stuff, I might start a Patreon just to help supplement some of the design costs, or even pay for the website maybe. I don't know. Let's do 6 and see how that... Okay. Let's zoom out. I've copied that light a bunch of times. Let's zoom out and just see how this is looking. Watch it crash. There we go. Now it's starting to look like something. I don't know. Do you guys think that's this lighting source in the corridors is too bright? Not bright enough? I like the shadows the columns or the archways are casting. That's pretty cool. And I like how the marble in the main quad is kind of reflective. I might go just a tad brighter, you know that? What if I went... We're at a value of 18. What if I went a value of 22? God. That's pretty intense, just that change. That looks a little better for now, I guess. What if we went 20? Yeah, I like that. YouTube Live can do donations, I think. I love the shadows. You guys are awesome. Yeah, the shadows are cool. You know what's weird? So there's a delay between what I'm doing and what you see, like when you comment, but my little commenter where I see your guys' comments doesn't update in real time. I have to scroll down. And I don't know if that's just the way it works or if I think the reason I can't see my video is because of my system's memory allocation right now, because it's like doing this intense rendering stuff. You know, now that I see that, I actually like 22, the value of 22 better. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna leave that there. And I'm gonna put these light sources on the other side now. I should be able to copy them directly. Like, what if we just copied these to the other side of the corridor just as they were? Oops. We're inside the building. Okay, what if we did this, and we copied these out, and we instanced them, and we copied them to this side. They're almost there. Okay, we're gonna eyeball to see where the middle is. Let's see where this last one, how far down it is. Yeah, that works. Okay, so let's see what this side looks like. Get right in here. Okay, I'm going to save it. I'm going to bring this up again. Ooh, cross her fingers that this looks good. Cross her fingers it doesn't crash. Every time I bring up the scene evaluator, I'm like, yeah, this could be it. This could be the limitation of my computer and the file. Okay. Okay, we see the walkway. We see those car blocky thingies. We see the corridor. I feel like it works. So far, so good. Yeah, I feel like this works. Okay. Okay, that works. Good. Let's illuminate. Let's start putting these lights places again. These ones that will physically be seen. I'm not going to instance that because these lights, the surface brightness is mapped to a material, the physical material that the object is made out of. Is this scrolled? Yeah. I have no idea how many people are watching this live stream because of the little crash. I don't see the eye. So for all I know, I'm talking to myself again. You just put that there. Now you gotta figure in real life, they probably wouldn't have a light shining up into the windows, but something like this on this wall might work. So let's bring up the scene evaluator and see how bright that is, because I can always increase the brightness on it. Okay, that works. Oh wow, yeah, if we let this rasterize for a minute, we let it compute, you can start seeing the fencing or the gate that I put in here. Yeah, that works there. It's interesting. So this gate, I wonder if we can see the light coming through it on the previewer. Let's save. Next time I'm going to play the Jeopardy theme song. Okay, let's bring up the viewport again. Let's see if it's actually the fencing or the gate is casting light. Or casting shadows, I meant to say. Yeah, it is. You can kind of see it. That's what I love about this renderer. Stuff like this. This is just an opacity channel on the material. This is a long two-dimensional plane. And it even incorporates that. Like, it kind of soft shadows it. Like the shadow is sharper, closer to the physical object. And it kind of filters out. I love that. Because that's how it works in real life. Wow. Yeah, it looks really cool, doesn't it, Crystal? I hope you guys can see this with, some clarity. God, that looks so cool. Okay. So, I mean, once I start producing art with this model, things like that will be a lot more clear. So, yeah. Okay, that's good. I'm going to copy this over here. I know I'm driving other CG artists nuts by never going back into, like, orthographic mode, but I figure the people on here that are watching that are not CG artists will find this completely overwhelming. This is how most 3D artists work. They actually will adjust things in these different views, and that's usually how I work, but... Oop, I went the wrong way. Yeah, we adjust things here when you can see it from all angles simultaneously. But that's not how I chose to do it today. Let's go back just to one screen. So this will be the first light in the main quad. I feel like we should copy it again and actually put a light source inside of this. Maybe just on the underside. Maybe just here. What am I doing? 3 degrees. And then if we pulled this way out, wonder what that would look like. If you'd even see it. Okay, let's pull up the scene. Let's save. And let's pull up the scene evaluator again. Once it's done saving, that is, Hey, can you guys see the Amaranth Chronicles logo in the lower left-hand corner? I was trying to play with that in the software that I use to screen capture, but I don't know if it's always there. Like, I don't know if it shows up there. Okay, yeah, see, so we got this light up here, casting light down toward the ground, and we have a light in here illuminating the top of this archway. Yeah, I have no idea if this is still even working. For all I know, it says that I'm live and it says that I'm streaming, but it stopped streaming 20 minutes ago for all I know. Yeah, no, I like this. I like this. I like where this is going with this light. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's there. Yeah, okay, cool. And probably put another one of these lights up here. No, you know what? I can put another light. One of these lights. One of the amber lights. Cool. I could put these all the way across, like over here, underneath this trestling or whatever this scaffolding is. We can put one there. We can oops, grab the scaffolding. I meant to grab the light. You expect to see a ghost sitting on that bench? Yeah, something like that, right? I mean, I can put characters and people in it eventually to give a sense of scale. Put a ghost on the bench. That would be interesting. Okay. Let's zoom out. And let's see how this looks now. Well, let's zoom in a little bit. You guys are awesome for being here with me today, and you guys are awesome for being patient while I do this. Like the scene evaluator screen, yeah, it's, you know what, 10 seconds, but that's 10 seconds of your life you're never going to get back. And you stack those together, and I've taken a lot of your time. Okay. Yeah, we're getting there. I like the amber lights being low, and the more white lights being high. Yeah, put Easter eggs in the model. Like, when you say that, you mean literal Easter eggs or Amaranth Chronicle Easter eggs? Yeah. Okay, I like where this is going. I like the amber lights being low. I like the whiter lights being high. This works. So let me do this. Let me pull back out, and let's start seeing what we've done today. Okay, and while that rasterizes, yeah, Cade sitting on a bench reading the newspaper, because they'll have those in the future. I don't know. But wow, okay, I'm liking where this is going. Like, already, this is so, just in the last hour and 23 minutes, this is an impactful change. It's starting to look more like Grace Cathedral. And I like that. The corridor lights I might change to be more white, because if we notice, if I bring up some of the photographs of Grace Cathedral, yeah, doesn't it look like the corridor lights are white? Like, we have the amber lights on the bottom, but we have these white lights in here. And I know that has to do with, you know, the camera and the exposure and the color temperature, but I gotta pick something, and I gotta go with it. So maybe I will make it more, yeah, I'll make this brighter and more white. And what's nice is we only have to select one of them. And while I could select it over here, that's not as fun as navigating through the model. So what if we went 25 brightness? Let's change it to kind of a more white. That might be too much, but we'll see. Okay, scene evaluator. But I won't stop you if you put real eggs for a virtual Easter egg hunt. Sure. And then that'll be like some sort of game later, like find all the Easter eggs in the video and win a prize. There we go. Okay, that's starting to get there. We're getting there, we're getting there. You know what I want to try? If you guys feel like being patient with me, I want to do a real render. I don't want to do these preview scene evaluators. Let's see how long something like this would take. Let me save again. Let me bring up render settings. And let's do, just for shits and giggles, let's do something like this. We'll get the big detail early. I'm hoping. Here we go. So this is not a real-time render. This is... this is lit. Yeah, this is lit. This is taking all the changes I've made and actually computing them for like a final output, like a photograph. I just thought it would be less grainy faster, but yeah. I like where this is going. I like where this is going a lot. And I like that so far this file has continued to behave. Let me try something. I could change the global exposure values, but I don't think it's time yet. No, I don't want to save state. Okay. Just because... Okay, what kind of lights are these? Those are the wide-angle lights. Somebody's mentioning me on Facebook. Jason, what'd you say? Oh, you're just commenting on my regular scheduled programming, my regular crap I put on there. So what if we made these lights a little bit brighter? Let's bring up my materials again. And you know what? I could take this and move it. I've been trying to put these materials kind of in the physical places on the screen where it would make sense. Those of you not familiar with 3D, this is how you build textures, like the surface quality of things. And my other light properties are down here. This is for the lights that look like heaters. This is the one that I can't quite get right. Let's just go crazy with that. And then these are the different ones. This is... Let's bring up that value a little bit more. Okay, so far so good. I like how this is turning out. Grab one of these lights. Start lighting the inner area. Put a light up there. Definitely put one over here in the nursery, or the retail space for the nursery. I mean, eventually I plan on putting my characters in scenes from the book here. You know, Lithia, Tarja, VJ, a lot of people had scenes here. Cade had a scene here. Cade's was more interior, but... Okay, what if we just, like... Like, just in between all of these, right? Okay. Ooh. Some texture issues in here. Okay. Well, I'll fix that later. Okay, let's see how this affects stuff. We can pick an angle on this. We're gonna save. We're gonna bring up a scene evaluator. Here I am leaning in. You guys are probably just seeing my forehead. You know what? I wonder if I can change the size during the stream. I'm getting bigger and smaller. Ah! I wonder if I go back. I wonder if that showed up in the live stream. Okay, here we go. Okay. It works. We're getting there. Once things are on these tables, you know, it might change things. I might have to put some walkway light kind of here, like on the inside of this railing, like underneath the tables. I might have to do something like that. But I'm okay with this right now. Maybe even take one of these and put it on this wall. Let's put it up high. Cool. And then what do we do in here? You know, it's interesting, the question of lighting. Yeah, it did get bigger. Yeah, that's cool. That's a feature. I'm using OBS Studio. I'm not actually using Facebook Live. You're seeing it on Facebook Live because that's where I'm outputting it to. But I'm using this thing called OBS Studio. It was free. And I'm learning how to use it. And so far, so good. I kind of like it. So I don't know what to do here in this place. So like I was saying how I took creative liberties with the size and scaling of the surfaces and parts of the church. This area here, this empty part here, is not nearly that big in real life. In fact, I'm not even sure if it's there. I think the staircase comes down differently. But I decided to model it this way. I don't know what to put here. I thought about putting a planter and another big tree, which I could do, but it's just kind of this empty spot. And then I thought, well, what if I put like a picnic table there, something like that? Then I thought, who would want to have a picnic in like a concrete box? Because that's essentially what this area would be. So I don't know. That's something I'll probably have to change. Oh boy. Oh boy. No, let's put, instead of putting the low amber lights, let's put the, like the lights we have here. And I didn't put glass in these windows yet, because I don't know if I'm going to put in stained glass or something more traditional, so that you can see, because this area does technically have an interior space. It's not a great interior space, it's just a box, but it is there. So... I wonder if I'm making anyone dizzy with the way I model this. Is anyone feeling dizzy? Crystal, are you feeling dizzy? keep looking over here at the stream, or what I can see, to see if my music's still playing. Oh no, I'm making you dizzy. I'm sorry. All the twisting around, I'm sure. Okay, we're starting to get there. I went for a run today through Seacliff. I was almost going to videotape part of it just because it's one of the most breathtaking views here in San Francisco. It's a really expensive, ritzy neighborhood that overlooks the Golden Gate Bridge. I just thought about doing that. I don't know, I'm kind of getting into this sharing your life through video. I tried doing something like this a few years ago. If you guys remember a couple of YouTube videos I did years ago, one of them was about the time I was almost hit. I was on my motorcycle and I was almost hit by Doc Brown's DeLorean from Back to the Future. That was one of the stories I told. Ooh. You know what? Let's cheat. Let's just scale this a little bit. Yeah, so I did a couple of videos. That was one of them that I did. And like I tried it, but that was an edited video. It was like one of those quick cut videos. And it took me like 2 hours to record and then like 9 hours to edit. I'm like, I don't know how people do this. I'm not going to do this. That's not worth it. Okay, we'll put that there. Maybe we'll even put one here. Just in between the columns, you know? Okay, now let's zoom out. And let's just kind of look down into this area. We'll save again. Yes, yes, yes. Crystal just yes, yes, yes. I don't know what you're saying yes to, but I'm glad we agree. Okay, let's bring up the scene evaluator. Okay. Nice. We're getting there. We're definitely getting there. That feels like a realistic amount of light to have there with no lamp posts. You know, just from the lights around. And then I'll put amber lights going up the staircase. Let's do that. These are the amber lights, yeah, the trim lights. I really hope this video is recording to my hard drive as well. I'd like to put this up on YouTube afterwards, just because why not? But I don't know. I'm still learning this OBS software. I've never been into streaming. I've never been into Twitch. I've never been into those things. It's like, why would you want to watch somebody do something like this if you already kind of know how to do it? I know that there are people that like to watch people cooking, but I never understood, why does somebody watch somebody else play video games? Why not, if you're interested... Oops, local, they went in two different directions. If you're interested in playing a game, will you light those arches? Yeah, I plan to, eventually. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I almost wish I could go to Grace Cathedral and see how they do it. I mean, I guess I could always, you know, go there and do that, put a face mask on and just go look at night. But I know this area you can't actually get into. It's part of the school that's there. But I don't know, maybe I can peer through the bars. Like, that's not creepy, right? Peering through the bars. No, but like I was saying, I've never really been into streaming or anything like that, because why would you want to watch someone play video games? I guess if it's a particularly, like, you're having trouble with a part of a video game, I can understand that. Or maybe it's like, you know, two people you know competing, I guess. But I don't know, people who just sit there and watch it for fun. Like, I know that in South Korea, they treat StarCraft and StarCraft 2 like we treat sports. So, and that's not even weird as far as their culture is concerned. Like, oh man, look, it doesn't make contact here. The railing. Oh, you can see behind it. I'm not going to change that now. I'm going to fix that later. But once you see it, you can't help but see it. I hate that. I just heard the mail come. Wow, we're about pushing 2 hours. I might call this video kind of soon. I'm really thankful you guys were all here today. But I do have other things I want to get done today. And I also kind of want to make certain changes that nobody's going to find interesting. For a later video where I showcase the light again. Okay, so now that we have the staircase lit, let's do this. We're going to save. We'll bring up the Octane viewport again. And this might be too many lights, just in general. Like, it might be better just to put in less lights and change the global exposure value, like in a camera. Okay. Huh, okay. Let me adjust the angle. Let me put this window over here. And if I adjust the angle and then move this back and kind of let it rasterize. It's getting there. I'm okay with it so far. Yeah, I think I'm going to call this video soon, but I do want to try a couple of things. Something I was playing with in one of my other files for the Amaranth Chronicles, I was kind of testing some of the post-processing effects of the light. So let's do this. Let's pick an angle. And we're going to zoom in. Kinda-ish right there. And let's pull up the scene evaluator again. And I'm gonna bring this just so we can see it. Okay. And then if we bring up the render settings, and we set up some post-processing stuff. I had some really cool effects. With the bloom power. So if we go like 10 on the bloom power. I really hope this... Okay, now we can start seeing, like up in here, look at this. See the pink? See how it's glowing? That's the kind of post-processing stuff I'm talking about. So if we do like glare power 0.9. Okay, so we're starting to get like a star coming out of this. And cyberpunk, which is kind of what I'm trying to lean toward, and like the lighting is very distinct. J.J. Abrams used this type of lighting. Watch, I'll show you. So right now we see kind of like a star here. If we decrease the number down to 1, okay, so we see the line coming down here. And if we set the angle, okay, set the angle to 90. It's long, it's sideways, like J.J. Abrams' Star Trek movie. And then if we go like glare power, like 2, this might be too much. And what if we increased... Okay, so now it's starting to... The light feels like it's illuminating the air around it. Yeah, like it's starting to... That's kind of what this does, this post-processing stuff. So if we zoom back out, if we notice even these lights faintly have it, you see? I don't know how well you guys can see this, but this effect here. What if we went bloom power? Let's go crazy. This is going to crash the file. Maybe not. See? Okay, yeah, now we're starting to get this effect here. So if we zoom out. Ooh, yeah, see? Now we're getting into that sci-fi cyberpunk kind of area. What if we lowered this? 30. And then the blur. What if we went like 1? Now let's increase it. Spectral intensity. I can't remember what this did. Oh yeah, see, it really pushes, it really screws with things. Like the lighting values. I kind of like a little bit of that spectral intensity though. What if we went glare power 50? We're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, see? It's cool, huh? Yeah, it's starting to feel kind of cyberpunky now. Kind of sci-fi. Yeah, I like that. So, like I said, that's part of the post-processing. There's a lot of things I can do. Like, exposure's right now set to 1. What if we set that to 1.5 and we see the whole scene get a little brighter? See this? So let's snap back. So here's 1. A little darker. What if we went up to 2? Now it's starting to look cyberpunk. So that's one of the reasons I like Octane Renderer. Everything's so straightforward. It's not that the other renderers don't have Mental Ray and V-Ray and I-Ray, and they all have settings like this, but Octane's really straightforward. And I've never had a crash, which is really weird. Cool. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to leave it here. And I'll pick up with my next video tomorrow or sometime early next week. Really kind of dialing in the lighting more. I want to make some adjustments to the model, like where that staircase, the railing didn't make contact. And I'm not going to put you guys through that. And I also want to put in some like lamp posts, because that'll change things a lot. And I have to model those separately, so I'm not going to put people through this, because this was a Grace Cathedral model, right? So to keep context with everything, yeah, I'm going to leave it at 2, Crystal. 2 exposure, yeah. Well, thanks a lot for being here, you guys. Let me zoom in. Thanks a lot for being here. I really appreciate your guys' support. This is what me following my dream looks like, and I'm completely thankful for every one of you that are to some degree at least entertained by my pursuit of it. So yeah. Alrighty guys, I am going to sign off. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.